And welcome back to Comic Frontline, everybody. I am Brant Fowler, aka the Gonzogoose, back with you for yet another comic review. This time, going back over to IDW for a new series called G.I. Joe Snake Eyes, Agent of Cobra, issue number 1. This is written by Mike Costa with art by Paolo Villanelli, I believe is how you say it. And I think this is following the continuity of the relaunched, just adjectiveless or subtitleless G.I. Joe, which relaunched last year, I think. Um, and this basically, I've not been reading this particular series, that G.I. Joe series. I've been staying with the Real American Heroes, so it's a different continuity. But from what I understand, Storm Shadow had attacked G.I. Joe 5 years ago, and Snake Eyes disappeared. So now he is back, and apparently something went down with the G.I. Joe team. They don't really give you a lot of background here, which is one mark against it, but they don't give you a lot of background as to why Snake Eyes has joined up with Cobra. But apparently something happened with G.I. Joe that they kind of let him down, or betrayed him in some way or fashion, and so he has gone to the other side. The series opens up on Destro, who is prisoner, and it's kind of like the movie version of Destro. I guess that's the route that they went with in this comic, where his whole body is metal and everything, and it's talking about how you can't feel the rain anymore, he can't feel pain, and he puts his elbow on the fire to see how long it can stand there before he gets uncomfortable. And it was like 300 degrees or something. He's burning up his chairs and stuff. He's talking, so it was really kind of odd way to open it up. But Snake Eyes rescues Destro and brings him to a Cobra drop-off point, and that's kind of how this gets kicked off. We learn that Snake Eyes is an agent of Cobra, and he's working now with Destro. And apparently Tomax had set up Destro, so Tomax, it was Amon and Tomax, the Crimson Guard Commandos, the twins. He's got this whole he is Cobra basically, and now Destro's this other section of Cobra, but they rescued him, and now Snake Eyes is his problem. He respects Snake Eyes and sends him on some different tasks, but we learned that there's more to it with Snake Eyes. I don't want to spoil the ending, but there is more to it with Snake Eyes than just turning sides. Obviously, Snake Eyes, the altruistic icon for the G.I. Joe team. So we do see that. The art in this issue is fantastic. There was a lot of really cool action scenes with Snake Eyes early on, as he's fighting off guards and rescuing Destro, and he throws him into the river and saves him from there and everything. And it really dynamic art. Love the style here. And the dialogue, aside from the weird opening, the narration by Destro throughout the book, which it seems like it's going to be more like a Destro / Snake Eyes book. But his narration was solid throughout the book as well. He kind of told the story and kind of detailed the problems between he and Tomax, and he talks about Snake Eyes' character and all this stuff. And of course, Snake Eyes, we don't get any kind of dialogue. He doesn't speak, not even any inner monologue, which is true to the G.I. Joe series. So I appreciated that. He's just this silent conundrum that you don't know, that you just know that he's he's got this moral high ground thing going on. So it's interesting to see him on the Cobra side. And then the reveal at the end kind of tells you where this series is going, and what we can look forward to with Snake Eyes as a character. But in the next issue promises Storm Shadow to come into the fray, so it's going to be very interesting to see those two, especially if they're on the same side now. I don't know how that's going to work, but it's going to be very interesting. I think overall this was a really solid first issue. It just has the mark against it for not giving enough background detail to why he's there in the first place. They touched on it a little bit, but not enough to let us know what's going on. And I think they could have done that better, even with just a longer recap at the beginning instead of one sentence saying 5 years ago Storm Shadow attacked G.I. Joe and Snake Eyes disappeared. That was all the recap we got at the beginning. So I would appreciate a little bit more lead into it. But overall, the art and writing fairly solid. I'm a big G.I. Joe fan anyway. Snake Eyes is my favorite character, so I'm definitely into the story and into the book, and I'm definitely going to be picking up the series from this point forward. And maybe I'll go back. It has kind of got me interested to check out this other continuity of G.I. Joe. So, yeah, it's done its job in that regard then. So, for G.I. Joe Snake Eyes Agent of Cobra issue number 1, I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. So high marks for that. I definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you're a G.I. Joe fan, especially if you're a Snake Eyes fan. So that's going to wrap it up for this review. Check out all the other reviews here on Comic Frontline and all the other content we have going on as well. If you have not subscribed, please do so. We are very close to 2,000. Our 1-year anniversary is next month, so we would love to reach that magical number of 2,000. So if you can make that happen, please do. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this issue and of this review. And check out comicfrontline.com, comicrelated.com, zone4podcast.com, Frontline Gaming Zone together. All your number one source for all your comic news, reviews, podcasts, and so much more. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.